great, beautiful day. Hey, Andy Shinn with AY Realty. Joining me, Cheryl Garlock at Colorado Front Range Properties on the Springs Radio Real Estate Show. Today, Andy is going to show us what he does as a property manager when he does a move out with a tenant, where a tenant has already occupied the property for an extended period of time, and now representing the owner, you have to go in and check out the property, make sure everything is correct as it should be. Is that right, Andy?
That's right, Cheryl, and I'm looking forward to today.
Good. I want to tell everybody real quickly, though, some of the key elements that you actually look for as a property manager when you do these move-outs.
Sure. We want to look at the quality of the cleanliness of the house. We want to look at are the floors scratched? We've got wood floors in this house. What condition are they in? We want to look at the plumbing. Are there any leaks that we need to be worried about? Those sorts of things. So we'll go through and we'll kind of take a look at those things.
Any repairs or any damage? Okay, well that sounds great. Let's go on. Alrighty, so Andy, let's start in the kitchen here, because you know that is always the heartthrob of any home.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of mechanical operations in this particular room.
And there's several things we want to check in the kitchen.
So show us what we would check for.
You bet. So as we go into the kitchen, first things we want to look at is flooring. So in this kitchen, we have a vinyl floor. We want to look for any nicks, gouges, anything that may have been caused by the prior tenant, and anything that may need to be repaired or replaced before we...
kind of like that spot right here,
That's exactly right. Exactly correct. You can see here we've got a nice little quarter-size gouge in the vinyl. Looking around at the corners and the edges where you might see some lifting or some other separation in the vinyl, I don't see anything else besides that mark. So.
Now, on something like that, because you did mention this is a vinyl floor, what kind of choices or options might the owner have if that indeed was occurred due to the tenant?
Sure. Well, the tenant can be charged for that kind of damage to the floor. So a couple of different options depending on what the owner wants and depending on the flooring itself. You might have a vinyl repair. You might have to replace this floor.
Okay. Okay, great. Wonderful. Wonderful. What other things will we look for in here?
Well, countertops are next. So whenever you're looking at a rental and a tenant move out, you want to make sure are there any chips, cracks.
So Andy, I have one question for you.
Yeah.
I see that these countertops have miter cuts in the countertop deal, and you know when you rent a property, as an owner of a property, I always worry about too much water being left on the countertop and then buckling.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that situation occur?
Not very often, but that's one of the things we want to look at and walk through here. You can see this dirt in the shelving. New tenants aren't going to want to put their food here. This needs a professional cleaning.
Absolutely, certainly does indeed.
So, and this is something that should have been done by prior tenants, so that's a security deposit deduction. That's going to get them in here and clean the appliances.
Do the tenants usually get some sort of a cleaning instruction list on how to clean and properly prepare the property for vacating?
Yeah, we have a one-page move-out tips for our tenants, so they can see exactly some of the things we're going to be looking at. Appliance cleaning, cleaning the blinds, those are some of the things that are contained in there. The tenants often miss.
Yep, I'll bet they certainly do. I see you got a pantry here as well.
That's right. We want to see, sometimes folks leave stuff behind. In this case, they emptied it and it looks like it's been wiped down. So.
Wonderful. Okay, that sounds great. Well, let's move on up to the master bedroom.
Let's do that.
Master bedroom, and I know it gets a lot of use here. So what kinds of things do you look for in this area?
Well, cleanliness, first of all. And as we go through the master bedroom, you're going to see several spots on the carpets. The carpets have not been professionally cleaned, so we need to have that done. And then once that's done, we need to see, do these stains come out? There's a couple of stains I'm not sure about, so we're going to have it cleaned, see how it comes out, and see if we can get these carpets cleaned up.
Okay, good.
The other thing is, if you look at the blinds, you want to check all the blinds in the house. Again, this is an area that a lot of folks will miss in the cleaning. You see the windowsill,
right,
and the blinds themselves, very dirty.
I have to ask you, did the tenants think that they had cleaned this place?
They apparently...
Is it not letting you do it again?
We're okay. We're going again.
Okay, go ahead.
After we take a look at the flooring, we want to look at the counters and the sinks. We're looking for any marks on the counters, any chips in the sink. Again, this needs a good cleaning. You see some soap.
Oh, absolutely. All over the mirror, everything.
The mirror, yeah. Absolutely. But otherwise, it doesn't appear to be any damage here. We're also going to take a quick look underneath the cabinets, just looking for any leaks or anything that the prior tenant may not have noticed or may not have reported. Just so that we're aware of it before we put somebody else in here.
Absolutely, that's always a good thing. Do you very often have a new tenant come in and within a few days they find some things that they didn't discover initially that might have been something that the prior tenant had done?
Sometimes you do. You want to do as thorough a walkthrough as possible to prevent that, but inevitably sometimes that will happen. In Colorado, you have 30 days to disperse a security deposit. And that's part of the reason why, is because as things start to get used, you start to figure out, oh, we missed this. But if you do a thorough walkthrough, you can really avoid those types of issues.
That's great. Wonderful there. Well, gosh, that's really enlightening there. I think we've gotten a lot out of this. This tells us what we kind of need to do when we get ready to vacate a property if you're a tenant, and if you're a landlord or property manager, some of the things that you're going to be looking for.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's great. So you can learn more about property management services and how to protect your property with the right kind of services by going to springsradiorealestate.com, click on the guest tab, and you'll find Andy Shinn at AY Realty's contact information.